For most of this 20th century, the idea about peak performance was what we now call the 10% brain myth. It's the idea that we're only using a small portion of our brain, say 10%, at any one time, so peak performance, it must be the full brain on overdrive, right? And it turns out we had it absolutely backward. Flow requires all this extra energy for focus, so where does it come from? The brain shuts off non-critical structures. It says, oh, you don't need this right now. I'm gonna turn it off and give you that extra energy for attention. So in flow, we're not actually using more of the brain, we're using less of the brain.
पिछले कुछ सालों में the definition of what's impossible has changed. World records are broken on a daily basis. Billion-dollar companies are built on a daily basis. The world has no limit. There is no more concept of don't do this or you will die. And everything has only one answer: flow.
It's technically defined as an optimal state of consciousness where we feel our best and we perform our best. And more colloquially, right, it's any of those moments of rapt attention and total absorption, get so focused on what you're doing that everything else just vanishes.
According to performance expert Steven Kotler, what does it take to have superhuman performance? What does it take to reach human beings' full potential? What does it take to become a superhuman? Performance expert Steven Kotler has your answer. In the 90s, Steven Kotler became obsessed with performance sports, extreme sports. Flow state is the reason behind success of many people around the world in almost all creative fields possible, from architects to filmmakers. Even from philosophers to psychologists, everyone credit their success to flow state. From Friedrich Nietzsche to Maslow.
The peak experiences came from many things, many triggers. Once I tried to generalize them as anything that moves, anything that comes close to perfection.
When the results of the research behind the flow states of the minds of these people came out, it was staggering. The term flow was first coined by author of the book Flow.
So many of the people describe this as a spontaneous flow that I call this type of experience the flow experience.
In this book, he explains a graph, the PFZ graph, the perfect focus zone. It's the key of getting and staying into the flow state. This graph has two things, challenge and skill. अगर challenge skill से बहुत ज़्यादा है तो वहाँ पे आपको anxiety होगी, और अगर challenge skill से बहुत कम है तो आपको वहाँ पे boredom feel होगी. So you have to focus on a slightly challenging path. और भूल जाओ peak performance, superhuman performance को. It's about happiness. It's also known as the state of euphoria. Anyone can achieve superhuman performance by getting into the flow state.
McKinsey did a 10-year study. They found that motivation and productivity can go up 500% in flow, 500%. Creativity, and this is work done at the Flow Research Collective. Some was done at the University of Sydney, some was done at Harvard. We see creativity spike 400 to 700%. Learning, depending on whose numbers you're going by, the Department of Defense did some work. They found learning spikes 230% in flow. Other studies were done where they were taking novice marksmen and training them up to the expert level in 50% less time in flow. Cooperation, collaboration go through the roof. Empathy and ecological awareness, which is your ability to perceive the natural world, go through the roof. And I think most importantly, and we know this really clearly, it's one of the most clearest findings in psychology, in the history of psychology, is the people with the most flow in their lives are the people who score off the charts consistently for overall well-being, life satisfaction, meaning and happiness.
Although कुछ काम हमें directly flow state में ले जाते हैं, but there are some flow triggers. The flow state is highly trainable.
There are 5 different flow triggers that are all dopamine triggers. So risk produces dopamine. Whenever we take a risk, we get dopamine. Dopamine is how the brain fires us up for taking that risk. Whenever we encounter novelty, we get dopamine. Complexity produces dopamine. Unpredictability produces dopamine, and so does pattern recognition, which is the linking of ideas together.
So, back to our question of passion. Your passion lies in the flow state. जो भी काम आपको फ्लो स्टेट में लेके जाते हैं उनमें से कोई एक आपका पैशन हो सकता है, और अगर आप किसी भी काम में फ्लो स्टेट में नहीं जाते हो तो इन ट्रिगर्स का यूज करिए उस फ्लो स्टेट में जाने के लिए, एंड चेक फॉर योरसेल्फ व्हाट इज योर पैशन. पिछली बार हमने जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज करी है और आपके पास अब जितने भी आंसर्स बचे हैं उनको फिल्टर आउट करो बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ द स्टेट ऑफ यूफोरिया, द फ्लो स्टेट। तो पिछली एक्टिविटीज के बाद आपके पास अब जितनी भी चीजें बची हैं उनको आपको फिल्टर आउट करना पड़ेगा द फ्लो स्टेट से। उनमें से कौन सी एक्टिविटीज हैं जो आपको फ्लो स्टेट में लेके जाती हैं। तो आपके पास जितने भी आंसर बचे थे पिछली एक्टिविटी से उनको फिल्टर आउट करो, उनको नैरो करो और एक्टिविटीज में जो आपको फ्लो स्टेट में लेके जाती हैं, जो आपको स्टेट ऑफ यूफोरिया में लेके जाती हैं, जो आपके लिए एक परफेक्ट फोकस जोन क्रिएट करती हैं। एंड राइट दोज डाउन, वन ऑफ देम इज योर पैशन। सो दैट्स इट फॉर दिस वीडियो। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग। प्लीज शेयर, प्लीज लाइक, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब, बिकॉज 4 more parts are coming of this passion course which will help you find your passion. Share this video with everyone who needs help just like you. Thank you for watching. This is Sparsh signing out.